Rwanda.
What?
Rwanda from Angola.
Stop.
Angola.
Yes.
Oh, that's what.
Stop. You see the power of suggestion that's being used. So this is another way that these so-called pastors, these are crooks. These are not pastors. These are, con artists. You see what he's doing? He has been given information before he came, and you could tell that he has been told that somebody came from Angola or Rwanda, so he mixed it up. He knew that it's one of the small countries, either it's Angola or Rwanda. So can you show that again? You will see that he made a mistake and the person is correcting him. If it is Holy Spirit, he will not make mistake. Okay?
Angola.
Yes.
Who's from Angola?
Yes. Rwanda.
What?
Stop.
Rwanda.
But because of the noise that is going on and because of the music that is playing, people don't have time to analyze what is going on. People don't know how, so they don't think at that particular time that, the man just missed it. Is that the Holy Ghost really? Is it the Holy Ghost? Either it's a guesswork, just guessing, that it is the whole, it's because if it's the Holy Ghost, it's going to be precise. But when he said Angola, and the lady said, no, not Angola, it's Rwanda, he tried to say, what? He's trying to use muscles, he's trying to muzzle her into submission. She's going to say again, Rwanda. I think he's going to muzzle her until she's okay, anything, just say, because they are creating an atmosphere of intimidation. So these men, they are not treating their people and their clients or their victims as respected people. They are not treating them with honor, but they are just coming to push on them and treat them as if they are lower than them, as if they are second-class citizens, as if they are they are oppressed people. But in the real sense, everybody, even in London, for example, in England, sometimes when the police even come, you are a criminal, and the police come, to arrest you. When the police come to arrest you, then you say you are not, they say, even though you are a criminal, but they still tell you that, sir, they honor you and say, sir. Can we start all over again?
Angola.
Yes.
Who's from Angola?
Yes. Rwanda.
What?
Rwanda from Angola.
You're from Angola?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Shove your hands together for that. No time to check time. No time to check time. You have been praying. You want to move your... I'm saying that you want...
You see, stop. You see all the body move, all the shout. You see all the aggressiveness. The man is not, he's trying to out muzzle the woman. He's trying to just, press on her and just screaming and shouting at her. Yeah, go ahead.
Amen. Please Benjamin.
Son.
Please Benjamin.
My son.
I have seen that this Benjamin for a year now. I've been looking for him.
Yes.
I have seen that you are looking for this Benjamin.
Yes.
Shove your hands together for that wonderful prophecy. I am hearing a word from the Lord. You want to move.
Hello, stop. What they do is this, and I have people who have called me into the program and said they themselves were working for this man of God. What they do is that you come, let's say there is somebody who comes, let's say you come and say, you come to me to the church and say, I have a problem. Maybe, I lost my money or I need a miracle. So you go and talk, not to the man of God, but to the staff. They have staff. Make sure you are sick, you are visible, yeah. They have staff members, and the staff members are the ones who are conditioning you. So some people will come, Adelaja, can you come and talk to you? Yeah, go and talk to her. And what they will be negotiating with you that, okay, we are going to resolve your problem, don't worry. And I have people, but they are afraid. They are afraid to come forward yet. But these are facts. Everybody knows this. Some of the people who told me this are even pastors, some of them who are in their group. They come and get all your information. Okay, for example, they come and get your information, but not the pastor. So you will be thinking that the pastor doesn't know you. You will be thinking that nobody knows about you. But what they have done is that they have talked to her. They have said, okay, if you want us to resolve your problem, go and look for 5 people. Every 5 person that you bring, for every person you bring, you will be getting, let's say, 50,000 naira. So you go and look for people you know their stories. And all the stories of those people you know, you go and tell the assistant pastor. Go and tell the assistant pastor. So you see, she is not the one coming to show, but she is going to invite people. And she's bringing people, and those people don't even know. Those people are thinking that the pastor doesn't know anything about them. But meanwhile, you have gone to talk to the assistant pastor and given the assistant pastor all the information. You've given all the information and you've told the person where they are from, where they are living, and everything like that. So what has happened is that by the time the man comes to the front, he already knows who is standing there and what are the situations, and that is one way they get to know all this information. They call them arranged miracles. So they just do arranged miracles. They go and agree. There is somebody right now who is in hiding because, you know, she went and brought all the people and they paid her some money, but they didn't pay her to the end. And then she went and told some lies. And anyway, they have all kind of problems going on. It's just all kind of fast. That is one way they are getting to get all this information. The other way is that they use divination. They go to the mountain in Ghana or some places to go and open their eyes to go and see familiar spirits. So they use familiar spirits to tell informations like this. And, you know, and I will tell you, I will come back to this video and tell you how that happens and why. Okay. What other video do we have to use for the analysis? Or I should go to my notes. Okay, let's go to the notes. Let's go to my notes so that you see what we are talking about. Let me now explain this thing to you. Okay, is your pastor hypnotizing, brainwashing you? That is the series. And the topic of today is church brainwashing and the Stockholm syndrome. Okay, we're going to point 1 now. Point number 1, Galatians 5:13. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty, only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. So we have been called to liberty, but what have our people, our so-called pastors, the so-called men of God, what have they done with the liberty that God has given to Christians? They have taken away the liberties. That is what the brother is trying to talk about. That don't go to Rotary Club, don't go to any other church, don't go to this. You have to belong to them. You have to pledge allegiance to their church. You have to pledge allegiance to them. What is that? That's brainwashing. But it is freedom. Nobody should tell you to go to church or not to go to church. It is your own personal relationship with God. If you want, you go. If you don't want, you don't go. And you are not supposed to, pledge allegiance to any pastor. You are not supposed to pledge allegiance to any denomination. You can go there if you want. It's your heart. You follow your heart. You don't follow human being, and you don't listen to any human being that's controlling where you can go, where you cannot go. You see, he said, brethren, friends, fellow, Christians, you have been called unto liberty. Don't trade your liberty in the name of miracle. Don't trade your freedom in the name of liberty. Don't give away your freedom. The people who take away freedom are people who are taking advantage of you. They are trying to hypnotize you so as to take away your freedom. They are trying to hypnotize you so as to, make you surrender your will to them so that they will become your God and your Lord and your master. That is the purpose of brainwashing and hypnotizing. But then when you have already been hypnotized, if you are not careful, you will be the one defending and protecting them so that they will keep you more in slavery. But what they are supposed to do, the Bible says, we have been called to liberty. But serve love one another in love. They are supposed to be serving you in love, not asking for anything in exchange. Now let's look at the dictionary definition for the Stockholm syndrome. The dictionary definition is the hostages. So the victims experience a powerful, primitive, positive feeling towards their captor or predator. This is exactly what happens in our African concept. The same members, the so-called members who are actually slaves, these members who are actually slaves, whose will have been subdued, whose freedom has been taken, whose money has been taken from them, they are the ones who primitively begin to feel positively towards these men of God and call them men of God, papa, mama, and pastors, but they are the ones oppressing them. They are the ones taking their money. They are the ones taking away their time. They are the ones not allowing them to spend time with their children and their wives and even fulfilling their own vision and their calling. But the Stockholm syndrome is that the people who are being oppressed are the ones themselves who are defending the captor and the predator. They are in denial. These people who are in oppression and who are in captivity, they are in denial that this is the person who put them in that situation. They don't believe it, that you go and tell a Nigerian man that the church is the one that is the source of his problem. They will say, no, it's not the church, it's Satan. It is Satan, demons and everything. Or it's even you yourself. Or their family. It is their family, the family who brought them up, who gave them everything. They will be saying it is the family to blame. But in their mind, they think this is the person who is going to let them live. They think this person is rather giving them life. But come to think about it, if you are going to church 5 days or 6 days a week, when do you have time to pursue your calling? When do you have time to spend time with your children? When do you have time to spend time with your daughter, with your son, with your wife, with your husband? When do you have time to pursue your calling? When do you have time to do self-education? When do you have time to grow? Yeah, so, the whole idea is that the people who are oppressing you, they are the one you'll be defending. Like this case now we are seeing here. You will be surprised that these same people who are being pushed down, they are thinking that the pastors are doing them good because they have brainwashed them to tell them that they have Satan inside them. They have been told that it is they themselves, they rather are the ones who are delivering them, and that they are the ones setting them free. But really, they are actually depriving them of their dignity, their human dignity. These people are being oppressed. They are being disgraced. They are being shamed to the world. I mean, if they really want to help them, why do they need the camera there? If they really want to help them, why do they need to disgrace them publicly like this? If they really want to help them, why don't they take them to the room? Why don't they cover their privacy? I mean, their identity, and why don't they help them in the silence when nobody is there? Why should they make them to be lying down on the ground and doing all this? This is all what we are talking about. People have been brainwashed, and then they will still take their money and go and give to these kind of people. Now, what is happening is not that it's Christianity that is the problem, but the problem is with the way Africans are practicing Christianity. This word of faith, this prosperity message, that is the thing that is causing us problem. It's not Christianity that's the problem, it's what they are preaching that's the problem. It's their interpretation of Christianity that's the problem. I know all of them personally, on personal level, and I've spoken to a few of them, and I've spoken privately, and I've also spoken in their conventions. I've spoken openly and privately to many of them. Right now, I made a video and I said, my friends, it's going to get worse. I'm going to go alone. I want to obey God. I don't care what anybody says. I am ready to lose every friend. So I cut off everybody just to do what I'm doing. So it's costing me all my friends. It's costing me all my relationship. But I would rather be loyal to God and do what God wants than to be having friends and relationship with all these people. I heard that there are many other men, really, remnants, who might be having the same views, but they are not as radical, or they are not as bold, or they are not as, or maybe they said, what they tell me is, we don't have the platform, or we don't have the name, or we don't have the recognition. That's the way they say it. And they said, okay, you have the clout, so you have the authority to speak. But they will not recognize us.